Hello everyone. Hello. Welcome Tony. Welcome everyone. Apologies for being a little bit delayed. I was getting a reading by what was my orientation, and I was like, I am a human sexual. I love humans. So that is a new term that I just put out there as, just loving people in general, regardless of how they identify. But you can't have your eyes closed. you gotta be fully aware of what's happening. So Big Dogs requested this as a topic, and I think that this is a topic that a lot of people are curious about, scared to talk about with their partner if it's something that maybe has come up once or twice, but there hasn't been any real consensus. Yep, never done it. Never done it. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Dillis. Thank you, Scott, for joining again. And, really, there is a lot of misconceptions about anal play. And today I really, one of the things, the question that was asked is like, how do I get my girlfriend to want to do anal? Or how do I get her to do anal? So I want to really approach that question. And then, this is a very, very big topic. So I'm not going to cover everything today. So I want to be honest about that. This is literally an introduction to anal play, how to really start that communication. Thank you, my love. I love this topic as well. So the first thing I want to do is I do want to give a shout out / recommendation on a book. And this is the book, Tickle My Tush by Dr. Sadie Allison. Great book. Has a lot of tips in there. And she covers a lot of what I will talk about and, and more. Right? So this is the first book I got when I was interested in learning more about anal play. And as always, can you orgasm from anal? Yes, you can orgasm from anal. Did I miss anything? You have not missed much. So today's topic is an introduction to anal play, and we are talking right now. I am about to present the position of the day. And here it is. This is the position of the day. And it is missionary possible, right? It is missionary, but with anal sex. And one of the things when trying anal sex is to really begin in missionary, right? A lot of times it's like, oh, but it's anal, you have to begin in doggy style, and that's not true. A lot of the times, what book is this? This is Tickle My Tush by Sadie Allison. I love her books. They're quick reads. They have a lot of fun facts and tips. And, she's really going at things from a scientific perspective and health perspective. What was the last time I had? I'm not answering any questions about my own sex life here. You're very brave to talk about this. Thank you. So that's one thing I won't talk about, my own experiences. But I will say that I know a lot about the subject matter, and am happy to share all of my wisdom and knowledge about it. So here we go. So tip number 1, right? You cannot get anyone to do anything that they do not want to do. Good boundaries. Thank you. We just want to know if you tried it, to be talking about it. I haven't tried skydiving, but I can definitely talk about the need for a parachute, right? So you don't always have to try something to be able to give information on it. And like I said, I'm a sexuality expert. I studied this stuff for many, many years. So it doesn't matter, right? That's not relevant. So I'm not going to answer that. Dropping privilege right there. No boobs here. No boobs. Oops. Flipped you guys around. Sorry. So we are going to talk about, sorry, my phone's bugging out. Ah, there you are. You're back. So, love the blinds though. I know. It's kind of funny. Blinds. Don't be blind. Don't be blind to this subject. So, the first thing is you can't get anyone to do something that they are not willing to do. However, it all begins with communication, right? Sometimes people have had bad experiences with anal. I know a lot of people who will not try it again because the first time that they did it, it was painful. And why was that painful? Because it wasn't done right. So what do you do if you want to, but your woman don't? Just miss out? So here is the thing. There is a ranking, right? There are 3 tiers of really, are you willing or not, right? So there's people who it's a hell no. Like, hell no, never, ever would try anal. There's some people who are like, hell yeah. Like, totally love it. And then there's people who is like, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Right? So, hi, sweetie. So, those are the 3 tiers, right? So, if you are a hell yeah, right? Sorry, didn't mean to put my finger out there. If you're a hell yeah, and your partner is hell no, that's a problem, right? There is a conflict there. And usually when it's a hell no and a hell yeah, there's incompatibility. So that's something we have to accept, right? And what I'm not saying that means you need to, do I have any tattoos? Yes, I do. 4. It doesn't mean that you need to like break up with your partner, but just know that there's some incompatibility there. So if anal sex is, something that you want and it's a deal breaker, you want to make sure that your partner is at least open to the idea, right? Before making big commitments. Now, if you're already committed and this is the case, I will not show them because they're not in areas that I can show. So if you are, already with a partner and you want to try anal and they are hell no about it, that's something you really have to go inward with and say, is this something I'm okay with not experiencing? And the answer might be yes, and the answer might be no. And if you are struggling with that, I'm always here to support people through really what does that mean for me and how to get clear about what you want and negotiating those spaces. What are you talking about tomorrow? Wildflower, I am not going to be on tomorrow. So announcement for all of you, I am taking a vacation. I am going down to Orlando for about 9 days. So I will be back on the 25th. So check me back here on the 25th at 4 and 11. I know I will be doing 1 or 2 scopes while I'm down there, but really they're going to be fun ones where I'm just going to be like playing and having fun and just broadcasting where I'm at and what's happening for me. I'm happy for you. Thank you so much. Yes, I really deserve this vacation and I'm excited to be taking it with my 2 best friends. It's the first time me and my 2 best friends go on vacay. Are all your scopes about sex? No, they are not. I scope in the mornings about inspiration and spirituality, and I really bring more than just sex to these scopes as well. This one just happens to be really into the weeds with anal sex because it was requested by one of my frequent viewers, and I honor the request that you guys make. So if you have any requests for a topic, just let me know, put it up on the board, and I will gladly address it in one of my scopes. So the first thing is knowing where you and your partner really lie in terms of, am I willing to go there or not, right? The second is really talking about what are your thoughts on anal cum shot? I would need you to explain what you mean by anal cum shot. Like a picture or like not sure what you're meaning. The second thing is to really understand what it takes for anal. Anal is not something you just decide today and do tomorrow. There is a lot of prep work, right? There's a lot of prep work that needs to go into anal. And you have sex, someone is 13. 13, that is statutory rape or just rape, so no. Give me 1 second. My Perry phone is bugging out here. So many comments coming in. It's bugging out. OMG, really. So it's not something you just jump into, right? Anal sex is not something you just jump into. And it's also, can you have sex when someone is 13? That is, I'm blocking you, sorry. I can't with that. Do you participate in anal? Not answering personal questions. Anal expert, haha. That is rape. Yes, Goddess Warrior. Thank you for putting that out there. And a 13-year-old, unless they're consenting with someone of their same age, it's not something for an adult to do with a minor. Okay. So back to anal. Thank you. So back to anal. It's something that doesn't just happen. There is a lot of communication and prep work. And communication being the biggest one. How can you not answer and you talking about it? If you don't like it, you don't have to stay. Right? So really, that's the biggest tip I can give you all, is to begin communicating and to know that it's not just going to happen, right? It's not just going to happen. If this is your first time, can you be too big for anal? Possibly, but there's a lot of different things that you can do that are anal play without penis penetration. So that's that's kind of the third tip. The first one is know where you're at, right? Know where you and your partner are at in terms of willingness to experiment with anal. The second is communication is super important. And the third is preparation is necessary, right? So in terms of anal play, there is a lot of things that you can do to get you to the point where you are ready for either penetration or whether that's finger penetration or penile penetration into the anus. So what can we do? I want to give you some really concrete tips. So the first thing that I recommend trying, right, is butt massaging, right? Really warming up that area, because sometimes someone's butt has never even been played with, massaged, right? You know, I go to my masseuse every month, and seldom do they give you a butt massage, right? Not a lot of masseuses go into that area. So even if you're familiar with massage, it is possible that you have never had a butt massage. So that is the first thing that I recommend, is really just getting comfortable between you and your partner with massaging of the butt. After that, I recommend finger play, right? And finger play, I really recommend it for the outside first. So really playing with the outside, right? Massaging, playing with the anus, also with the taint, which is the perineum, which is the little piece of skin between either the scrotum and the anus, or the end of the vagina and the anus. So that is another area that really can be stimulated with fingers, that is really sensitive and can cause a lot of pleasure. Does anal gives HIV? So HIV can be transmitted through anal sex. And because there are a lot of nerve endings back there and there can be micro tears, that is something that is possible. However, I always recommend practicing safer sex using condoms and dental dams and lots of lubricants, right? Lubricant with condoms, both inside the condom to prevent tearing and also outside the condom. And you want to always buy pre-lubricated condoms and add lubricant as well. So when it comes to anal play, I recommend silicone-based lubricant, right? Because silicone, it lasts longer and it's a lot more slippery. I don't know, slipperier. I don't know. What happens if you tear? If the condom tears or if there is a micro tear of the skin back there. Uber lube. Lots and lots of lube, right? Anal tear. If there's an anal tear, you should really stay away from anal sex for a few days up to 2 weeks, depending on how quickly you tend to heal. So stay away from the area if there are any tears. And if a tear, and here's the thing, if you're doing it correctly, it should be very pleasurable because there are a lot of nerve endings back there. Your sphincters have a lot of nerve endings. And it should be a pretty smooth, slippery transaction in that there might be a little discomfort, but there shouldn't be this friction. Friction should not be happening, right? It should really be a smooth process. So one of the things is a lot of warm-up is necessary. So the penis tends to warm up in about 0 to 5 minutes, right? The vagina takes anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes. Will the guy feel anything with all the lube? Yes. So the anus, however, takes a bit longer. So if you are wanting to engage in anal play, just know that you need to really put in the work to warm up the area because it doesn't just happen like instantly. 5 to 20 minutes. So it can take more than 20 minutes, right? Some women, it takes 45 minutes. Some women, it might take longer than that. So you have to really be open to going slow. And that's like the key, like biggest keyword, biggest tip ever is the slower, the better. So with anal, it's not about going deep. It's not about going fast. It's really about taking things slowly. And there needs to be a lot of trust and communication in the process. Bergen County 2 here. Where's my masseuse? Sorry. That's my alarm telling me that it's almost 4:30. I didn't catch that last question. What happens after you go to the bathroom? So it varies. So for some people, you know, I've been asked, do I need to do an enema or not? It's not necessary. Do I need to have a bowel movement beforehand? Not necessary either. Some people might see some secretions happening. Some people might not. Some people might poop right after. Some people might not. It depends on your body. Everyone's differently. Does size matter? It can. My masseuse is in Jersey City at Massage Envy, and her name is Inez, and she's amazing. So check her out. So in terms of anal, size can matter, right? Because if it's someone's first time, again, you don't want to just like ram something in there. That's not going to work. That's going to cause a lot of pain, discomfort, and it can possibly cause trauma. And that's something, a really big point that I want to make is that you want to really be in that space with your partner and really be trusting they're trusting you with a part of themselves. Anal sex can be very intimate. It's probably one of the most intimate acts that you can experience. That is unacceptable. And I'm blocking you. Should I use Crisco over lube? No. So never use oil. Never use anything with glycerol. Those are not recommended. So really going with either a silicone-based lubricant or a water-based lubricant. And I think really it's not that most girls, and I don't call them girls, I call them women, don't like sex, anal sex. It's that they're scared. You know, it's a really sensitive area. What about shower anal sex? Shower anal sex can be comforting for some. It might not be for others. What happens when you blow your anus out and you can't hold your poop anymore? That is a very rare situation and case. That's a medical problem. And I have heard of it happen. It's very rare. Very rare. This is not a show. This is a workshop on anal sex. From my last girlfriend, she told me it was painful, so she didn't want to try it. Yeah, and here's the real truth is that a lot of people who have tried anal have done it wrong. It has been painful and they don't want to do it again. That's what I meant by most women hating it. Yeah, you know, and that is where there needs to be a lot of communication, right? To really say, I'm really interested and curious about this and I want to try it and I'm willing to go slowly. That's not true. I don't agree with no pain, no gain. There should not be pain with anal sex. There should not. If you're doing it correctly, it should not hurt. There might be some discomfort in that there's pressure, right? There's pressure when something goes in. And that might feel a little uncomfortable for people, but there should not be pain. Any additional questions? So, why do some girls allow butt to vagina? That is dangerous and unsanitary, unhygienic. So really there should not be penetration from anal to vaginal. You should change the condom and wash your hands and anything else. Something else to take into consideration is that you should also, if you're going to, try anal sex for the first time, I do not recommend just starting with penetration. I really recommend, like I said, starting with outer play and then inserting a finger and really using a finger condom. And they sell those at the groceries, or you can buy regular gloves. If you're allergic to latex, they sell nylon gloves and use those. What about eating ass beforehand? That is a form of foreplay. And it can lead to a lot of stimulation and arousal. So analingus is something that I do recommend for people wanting to engage in anal sex. And if your partner is not open to actual anal sex, they might be open to analingus and begin to enjoy that and then want to have more adventurous experiences. I am not answering that. So those are my tips for today. I do have to run because I have to do the same scope in Espanol. What positions feels the best for anal? So if you're trying it for the first time, the position of the day, I will recap, is missionary. And this is one where you can pretty much feel comfortable and really experience anal while being comfortable, and just that position does help. Did not understand. Sorry. So that is pretty much all the tips that I can share for today. Like I said, this is a very, very intense subject. There's a lot of different questions that have come up. I will continue doing another scope sometime in February about anal sex. But just to recap, my biggest tips are know where you and your partner are in terms of whether you want anal sex or not, anal play, right? It's not just anal sex, it's anal play. So there's analingus, there's rimming, there's finger play. All of those things can really be fun as well, right? Second tip is have a lot of open communication. I am a sexuality expert. This is what I do. And definitely safety is a big one. So having a lot of mutually agreed upon expectations of what's going to happen, safe words. Can anal give AIDS? HIV, the virus can be transmitted through anal sex. I always recommend safer sex practices, which means having finger condoms or using gloves, using a dental dam, even saran wrap works for analingus, and also using condoms. And with condoms, having pre-lubricated condoms and putting lubricant both on the inside and the outside of the condom, and leaving space in the tip so that when your ejaculate comes out at 30 miles an hour, it doesn't rip the condom apart. So those are my big tips. Stay tuned. I will do another peri on this. I know this is a very interesting topic and a lot of people want to learn more about it, but just know slow and steady, really starting at the basics of just talking about it, and then maybe trying some finger play is the best way to go. Love you all. Thank you for joining. And until tomorrow, no, not until tomorrow, until the 25th, when I'm back on my regular schedule, I wish you all a passionate week. Bye.